Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Jamie back for another Battlefield 3 multiplayer commentary. Today we got a match of conquest on the map Noshahr Canals. This was a pretty great game. Basically, the setup for this game is as follows. Started out in the pre-lobby with my friends and a couple of subscribers from my channel. And basically, when we joined the lobby, my friends went to one side and myself and a couple of subscribers that were here stayed together, so we knew it was going to be a pretty challenging match because we had some good players on each team. Not saying I was the best by any stretch of the imagination, but I will tell you this was probably the best match of conquest that I have ever played, not regards just to the simple score of the game, but to the challenge that was here. We started the game right away with a double cap and they're on A, and you'll see how the game plays out, but there's a few things besides the game I want to talk to you about, but I'll reference back and forth to the game as the video comes along. As you can see, I'm using the thermal optics. I just unlocked that for the tank. I like that a lot, actually. It's a couple of my friends were saying you got to use thermal. It really shows up the enemy teammates and those sorts of things. As you can see, it's really, really great. Enjoy using it, and I'm going to be using it quite often from here on in, because I mean it just highlights where the enemies are, and it's just a fantastic specialization, I think. And another thing about this particular match I will tell you is there was a couple guys that were flying the little birds, and I gotta give them credit. They were really, really good at what they were doing. We tried quite hard, and I'll show you a couple of highlights as the video comes along about how difficult they were to get out. But I take this guy here. This is the first time I ever did this, actually kill the pilot of a plane, so that was pretty cool. And he crashed after. He'll get me back for that a little bit later on in this video, as you will see. So again, a couple of things. We had a couple subscribers here on my team and a couple really good friends that I play with on the other team, and I know the other guys on the other team quite well. I've played with them very, very often, but I didn't know the guys that were here. But again, it just shows that if you play the objective in this game, you work together as a team and you can converse back and forth. Good things will happen. Not saying that we win this match, but I will tell you it was a very challenging match. And in this particular part, some people say that I'm actually camping out on the A flag, but if I did not maintain here, we basically would have lost this flag, and on it goes. Then we would have had to try to get it back, but I just stayed here because I knew there was a guy out there, and a couple of my squad mates kept running out there and getting shot, so I said, what's the point for me to go out there and get shot? At least they would have somewhere to spawn on. Someone to spawn on, and that way we can control the flag, because as you can see it started to go down and we got to go back up and back and forth and went here on this A flag for a little bit until we take care of the culprit that's out there, and we'll do that very shortly here. So again, just back to the whole idea of, you know, basically PTFO, you know, if you're playing with the right people and you're not afraid to chat, then good results will happen. There's the guy that was causing the grievance there. So anyway, as you can see, we control the A flag, but back to, you know, it's good to play with your friends, of course, because you can be a little bit more organized, but when you have the right players, especially like I did here, these guys were just fantastic. You know, you can control the map. It doesn't really matter who's on your team as long as you talk back and forth about what's happening. And, you know, at the end of the day, hopefully you'll get the win. You guys have to stay tuned to see what happens. And this is another little part what I was talking about earlier with the guys that fly these little birds or choppers, whatever you might want to call them. I mean, they are great, and they're very difficult to take out of the air. I wish there was another way to do it. I know one of my friends and I, the other night when we were playing, said basically, you know, let's time it, you shoot, then I shoot with the Stinger missile. But I believe I shoot 5 Stingers into this guy and did not get him out of the air. So again, the guys that fly these are very, very good. We have a bit of a duel here. He knows I'm here. I know where he is, of course. I have played with this particular gentleman before, excuse me, and he can certainly fly the chopper, there's no doubt about that. So you'll see what happens here. I was thinking as well, guys, about something, a video I'd like to make would be a setup video about how do I record my gameplay and those sorts of things. Of course, I do use an HD PVR made by Hapaj. A lot of people have asked me to do a video basically how I do this sort of stuff. And I can certainly do that, but depending on the feedback I get from you guys, I will certainly upload that if you guys would enjoy it. It'll only be a quick video because it's pretty straightforward. I only play on the, as I told you, the guy took me out. I only play on the PS3, so it's a pretty simple setup. I can show you guys that if you wish. Just leave some feedback about that. Another thing too, guys, the map pack is out on Tuesday. Today is Sunday that I'm doing this video. For the PS3, of course, we get it first. For the first time, I think ever, we actually get some DLC first. I know some people are upset about that, but it's only a week and everybody else will have it on the PC and the Xbox. So we're getting 4 new maps, which I think is great news. It's needed now to keep the game fresh. Some of the maps in this game, especially Operation Metro and Grand Bazaar, are a little bit too linear for my liking, but you know, I still play them, of course. But some new maps, would be good for the game, I think, to freshen it up a little bit. The maps are, of course, Wake Island, Sharkey Peninsula, Gulf of Oman, and Strike at Karkan. So there's quite a bit of media out on that. You can certainly Google it or check on YouTube. You'll find some videos. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'll be sure to get a video up probably Wednesday morning for you guys to have a look at the new maps, just see what they look like. And from what I've been told or reading, there's some new guns going to be available, or assignments or something of that nature in those games as well. I know I watched a video that Don't Blink had done, and he had quite a bit of information on that, so you guys can certainly check that out. I might leave a link in the description so you can go over and check that. He has quite a bit of information on that. Don't Blink is very well informed in this game. Great commentator, so as I mentioned, you should swing over and check him out. And from what I've been told as well, with the new maps, there's going to be some sort of another patch or something with the game, because a lot of people have asked what is the chat and things like on the PS3 since the patch. It's still not great. Sometimes you get a decent lobby where you might have a decent conversation, but for the biggest part, it's still pretty bad. The connection for me is still not great, and I had a fine chat with some of my friends the other day when we were pre-game about their internet connection. As mentioned before, I live in Eastern Canada and Newfoundland, and my internet connection is the absolute worst. I think my download speed is somewhere around 5 or 6 megs per second, which is pretty pathetic, but it's basically the fastest speed I can get, so I shouldn't blame the lag and things too much on the game, because I don't play with a very decent connection, which is too bad. But what do you do is one of the things you get for living in Eastern Canada, I guess, and I don't think anybody's really totally happy with their internet. Because once you get it so fast, you get used to it, and then all of a sudden you're not used, you're used to the speed, and you think it's slow, whatever. But enough on that. As you guys are probably aware if you watched a few of my videos now, landmines were my best friend. I've kind of got to rethink the way I do that. You see I'm putting a couple out here. But the unfortunate part of landmines now, they show up in red squares on the map, on the mini-map, that the enemy can see, which of course kind of gives away their position. I have no idea what that piece of equipment is. I know it's flying around the map and things all the time. Leave some feedback and try to tell me what that is, because I don't understand what it is or what it does. I haven't got it on lock. I think it's part of the recon kit. As I told you guys before, I'm not one that has a lot of time that I can study all the weapons and analysis and things for these games, because of course I do have 2 kids, and getting time to play and commentate on these videos takes all my time, and I don't really have time to read all the specs and or information. So it'd be great if you guys can tell me what those things are, because they drive me insane. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the score in this game, but as you can see right now, we are now losing. We were dominating the game pretty much the whole way through, but for some reason the team on the other side, which contains a few of my friends as I mentioned before, are literally pushing our shit in here. So again, it goes back to talking to your squad mates, and we tried to regroup here and try to figure out what to do. As you can see, they have 2 flags and we only have the 1. We only have C, and they have A and B, which can be the more challenging flags to capture in this particular map. So now we have a challenge cut out for us, and I gotta be honest with you, this was a really fun game to play. And that's one thing about Battlefield 3. If you play the objective in this game, there is simply no better game on the planet. It's such a challenge when you have 2 good teams playing against each other that it can't be compared to anything else. And when they get a couple issues that are in this game worked out, it's just going to be fantastic. You can see there I'm kind of lagging a little bit. And I shoot my friend here. He sent me a message later. He didn't particularly like that, but what do you do, right? So as I mentioned, like I say, when you have 2 great teams against each other. I really don't think there's a better game around. I really enjoy this, and this is just a little bit on the mines that I was mentioning to you there. And that's a little bit of tip I can give you. If you see mines, chuck a grenade at them, and of course you'll take them all out because they kind of have a snowball effect. When one blows up, they blow up any that are close by, and of course that will help you get some points, and of course help your team win. Just another point I wanted to throw out there, guys, before this video is over. I've gained a few new subscribers to my channel. I appreciate it a lot, guys, that you guys, number one, subscribe to my channel and that you are liking my videos. Again, as I mentioned in my previous video, I try my best to interact with you guys when I get an opportunity to do so. So any questions or any feedback you'd like to leave is greatly appreciated. Of course, I do appreciate it if you like the video, of course. And like I say, anything you guys would like to have a chat about it, just send me a message. Of course, you can add me on PSN. My PSN name is on my channel page, and we'll try to get together for a game or two and have a chat about what's happening. As you can see there, I was shooting the RPG. I'm trying to get a lucky shot with one of those to record, but I've tried it several times, but I can never get one. So you can see here, guys, we're still losing. I think, yeah, it's 22 to 30 or 21 to 29, like that. As you can see, they're pushing us really, really hard here. And I mean, I got to tell you, I was almost, if you could say, sweating at this game. But as you can tell, we did turn it around, 16 to 1, and I believe that was the final kill. And look at that, we did win the game. Fantastic score. You will see the scoreboard coming here. Up here now in the second story, basically 1, 2, 3. There was myself and two guys that I know from my channel defeated a team that was pretty well stacked. It was a great game. Enjoyed it to the fullest. Ended up with a lot of points. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please remember to hit the like button, check my channel, and subscribe. It makes me really happy. But for now, guys, that's it, and we'll talk to you guys all soon.